NDP MLA Bernadette Smith was at the vigil speaking to APTN today. Smith says Indigenous women are sacred and resources need to be put in place to stop the genocide. But she admits until systemic racism is addressed, it'll be an uphill battle.
They're in our institutions at the highest level and they're being condoned and, given permission, and it's giving permission to society to just say, go ahead, abuse, Indigenous people and abuse Indigenous women. You'll get away with it and nothing will happen to you.
In a rare show of unity this afternoon, all members of Parliament stood for a moment of silence in memory of the 4 Indigenous victims identified as Mercedes Myron, Morgan Harris, Rebecca Contois, and the 4th, now being referred to as Buffalo Woman, believed to be in her 20s. Winnipeg Centre MP Leah Gazan demanded that Winnipeg's Brady landfill be searched for victims.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Another 3 Indigenous women were murdered by an alleged serial killer in Winnipeg, and police aren't going to look for their remains, which they believe are in the Brady landfill. Imagine hearing that about your relative, Mr. Speaker. And while the government stalls in providing resources, Indigenous women, girls, and Two-Spirit continue to be murdered because we are a target, Mr. Speaker. Will the government provide immediate funding to stop this genocide and the resources to search for the remains of our precious sisters?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and our hearts go out to the families of the victims. It isn't on a day like this that we can sit here and pat ourselves on the back about what we've been doing as a government. Obviously, it has not been enough. It is very puzzling to hear the news that this landfill will not be searched. I spoke to the mayor of Winnipeg yesterday about this and hope to get some clear answers shortly. Clearly, the federal government needs to play a role in an area where jurisdiction is a poisonous word and continues to kill Indigenous women and children in this country.
Honourable member for Churchill-Kiwatanuk-Aski.
Mr. Speaker, Indigenous women targeted and murdered again by a serial killer. This is a nightmare, a killer with a chilling connection to neo-Nazism. This is happening here at home in Manitoba, and more women have gone missing since. There must be a comprehensive federal response now, emergency shelters, economic supports, and real action on the dangerous rise of white supremacy. The families of Mercedes Myron, Morgan Harris, Rebecca Contois, and the 4th loved one deserve justice. Indigenous women and Indigenous communities deserve urgent action now from the federal government. When will the Liberals finally act?
The Honourable Minister for Crown and Indigenous Relations.
Mr. Speaker, extremism of the nature described by the member opposite is one of the biggest terrorist threats in this country, and it continues to prey on those that are most vulnerable, including Indigenous women, children and girls and LGBTQ folks across the country. We need a comprehensive federal response. We need a comprehensive provincial response. We need a comprehensive municipal response. It's why, in part, I've called for a federal, provincial, territorial and Indigenous meeting in January to discuss the painful issue of MIWG and why we continue to fail as governments in making sure that everyone in this country is indeed safe. Thank you.
Hear, hear.